welcome to Tuesday of the third week of Advent. Notice how I slow down when I say that because I'm trying to remember what day it is. Have you ever had that feeling at this time of December? Oh, I think we all have. But welcome back. We all need a little bit of retreat. I'm enjoying this retreat with you, even though I can't see you. I'm enjoying taking the time to pray, coming over to the church, leaving everything except my cell phone, which I have on silent, over there so I can concentrate on praying with you virtually until the day when we can pray again in person. Week 3, we're still in that week of joy. From Gaudete Sunday, stretch it out over at least 5 days. Rejoice in this Advent week 3. In circling the wreath, may we see much grace from our Christ to be found. Deep repentance turns our lives around. Holy Advent, Holy Lord, give the joy of conversion this day. Praise Emmanuel who came to stay. Praise Emmanuel who came to stay. Today, let's think about ways that we can really let Advent be savored in our hearts. When most of us were children, we may have been able to have the experience of those little chocolate Hershey Kisses wrapped in foil, green, red, and silver. Then they diversified. They have the ones with almonds in them. They have the ones with the mint flavor. They have Hershey Kisses with peanut butter. I'm a traditionalist. I like my green, my red, my silver. They're all the same. Hershey Kiss. A number of years ago, I was able to visit Long Island, and my friend Father Joseph's mother, Veronica Bertha, we stayed at her house for a few days, and one evening his two sisters and his brother came over, and it was quite nice to spend some time there. It's a long time since I've seen Long Island, because I really haven't traveled except up and down Abbott Road here in South Buffalo and back and forth to St. Luke's Mission of Mercy. The day I'm recording this, I'm heading over there to celebrate Mass in a little while. So what I remember about Mrs. Bertha's house was that I had never seen this before as a decoration. She took the little Hershey Kisses and she had them all across the windowsills on the top of the window. And I just thought that was a very clever way to decorate. And I guess you know when it's time to take the other decorations down, when all the Hershey Kisses are gone. In some houses that would be the day you put them up because they're really hard to stop eating, aren't they? But did you ever savor a piece of chocolate like that and just let it sit in your mouth and melt in your mouth and not in your hands? Let's not even get on to the holiday M&Ms. Don't get me started here. But, and please, I'm not asking for chocolate. Just sharing the human experience of the joy of chocolate. We can let something savor in our mouth and taste it for a while. The joy of the third week of Advent is good to savor, because the joy of the third week of Advent points us to our Savior. Did you see that coming? As we get closer and closer to the celebration of Christmas, more opportunities to prepare. I don't know if your household is like mine in Advent, but this year, especially during the pandemic, I have a little stack of Christmas cards I haven't signed yet, sitting on one table. I have a pile of Christmas music I haven't finished writing yet on another table. I have cards that came in the mail sitting on the dining room table. And these days, I'm not opening some of that mail for 2 or 3 days. I used to be really good at opening Christmas cards right away, and I do appreciate if you sent one to me. I will read it. I know some people who have amazing self-control. They wait until Christmas Day or the day after to open their Christmas cards. Good for you. I can't do that. I like to take a few at a time as they come in. And I like to send a few at a time. Sometimes I used to rush myself and I'm going to get them all written and signed and stamped and addressed by the first Sunday of Advent. Can't do that anymore. Can't do that when you have 2 parishes. But it's okay. It's okay, because this way I take a little more time in writing them. I used to put a favorite Christmas movie on the VCR. Remember VCRs? Or the DVD, and be signing cards as the movie played. And then if a favorite scene came in the movie, I would stop and watch. Well, I've stopped doing that because some people that I send Christmas cards to, I only write to once a year because they live out of town. We don't have that much interaction anymore, except for the joy of Facebook, where some of us, Lorraine Cortina, Long Island, how are you? We send each other messages back and forth. We used to spend lots more time on long distance phone calls. Remember when long distance cost more before cell phones? Some things have advanced us in these modern times. Some haven't, but some have. And so we can keep in touch with people in a variety of ways, but it's also a good thing to think about how we hold people in our prayer, how we bring them before the Lord with the love in our hearts and with the desire in our hearts for the best blessings for those we know and love, and for the best grace for those we know and don't love as much as we could. Do we not all have a few of those people in our lives? They're the ones who challenge us. Read the lives of the saints. Very often there were saints like Therese of Lisieux and Faustina. One sister in the convent would drive them crazy, but that was the thorn in their side that would allow them to turn to Christ. So if you are quarantined with your thorn, God might just make you a saint by Christmas. I hope that that's not what it is. And God might make your thorn into a rose. Think about that. So, a song I want to share with you today is the one I wrote for Christmas 2017. That year, I had gone to Ireland in, I think it was September, with a group on a pilgrimage, on a tour. And I'd only done that once before, where I got on an actual bus and went around. Very often when I go to Ireland, I go to Dublin, go on retreat at the Intercession for Priests, my favorite priest retreat in the world, and then have a few days to maybe hop on a train and go somewhere, come back to Dublin, fly home. Enjoy those times. I miss those times. I long for those times. But that year I went on a tour. Father Peter Corrales, who's our Vicar General here in the Diocese of Buffalo, who is a wonderful traveler and a really good priest to coordinate trips. I always say, I'm the priest who can sing a song on the bus, but don't put my name on the flyer as the one who's running a pilgrimage, right? A few of you have tried to get me to do pilgrimages and put my name on the flyer. I say, no, let me come and do music ministry, or let me just come and say Mass and hear confessions and pray with people. That's what I like to do. I don't like coordinating trips. I like to go on trips. So I went on this trip anyway to Ireland, and we went to visit this one monastery. We took a stop off a road. I do not remember what county it was in. We were walking toward this beautiful church, and I looked up, and the sun was shining in Ireland. Yes, it does shine in Ireland. It even shines in South Buffalo. The sun was shining, and I looked up on this beautiful hill on the side of like a mountain, and I saw this tiny little white image of Christ with his arms. Can I do this? His arms were outstretched, and I recognized it from who knows how many hundreds or thousands of feet away. It was a Sacred Heart statue. And the traditional image of the Sacred Heart of Jesus is his arms extended and his heart revealed. But way up there on that hill, it almost looked like a little tiny Jesus. When the sun was shining on it, I thought, is that you? Are you returning in glory right here in Ireland while I'm here? I thought it almost looked like he was coming down the mountain, coming back. And so I went in that little chapel. I was thinking about that statue. And then I thought about the images that we very often have of Christ in the manger, lying in the hay. When the Blessed Mother and St. Joseph actually set him down. Do you have a baby in the family that's hard to set down? They're much more fun to hold and rock. But they set him in the manger. And the little one that we had in our house, little baby Jesus, kind of had his arms up. So I was thinking about the baby in the manger. So I wrote this song called, wasn't that a long introduction? Sorry. Some songs need a longer introduction. It's called Arms Outstretched. So it takes us from his arms outstretched in the manger to his arms outstretched in his ministry. So this is one of those Lifetime of Jesus songs in 4 verses. Then it takes us to 2 more verses that I'll get to after I sing the first 2 for you. Why don't I sing something? See the babe of Mary fair, arms outstretched he smiles in blessing. Human minds did not foresee even our most brilliant guessing. Holy child of God above, growing learned in arm's length measure. Remember, he was the apprentice to Joseph in the carpentry shop. As apprentice in carpentry, soon crossed wood would be our treasure. See him go to sick and poor, arms outstretched embracing healing. Broken people rise and walk, now at manger we are kneeling. Far as east is from the west, mercy meets our deep soul pining. Every heart his soul can reach, human and divine combining. I could subtitle this song Whiplash, because I take you from back at the manger 30 years later to Jesus' public ministry, and then back to the manger again. And here we go again, back and forth and back and forth. I like a musical bridge between the two. That's what I was aiming for. That's what I was hoping for. So here he is with his arms outstretched, multiplying loaves, and finally in risen glory. Hard to picture him full grown, arms outstretched, years multiplying. Christmas in St. Joseph's arms, only seen our hearts are sighing. Saving reach for this tiny child, one day stretched for crucifying. Hope and joy now find in him, born again we through his dying. One more verse and 1 minute to go. Here the Lord in presence comes, arms outstretched in glory risen, speaking still his gospel truth. On this holy Christmas night we listen. Take us back to Bethlehem. Angels sang his mother humming. Earth consoled by arms outstretched, as we see his kingdom coming. We're just about at 15 minutes. Thanks for joining me. Please share if you like. Please come back tomorrow.